Hi viewers and subscribers, it's your girl MJ. Black River looks like a war zone, but I have a question. Did the government fail us? Remember, like, subscribe, share, and talk back to me. Now viewers and subscribers, if you have been following the channel, you'd have realized that I posted 2 videos showing you that I went into St. Elizabeth. And because I heard how Black River was devastated, I went to visit Black River. And I can tell you that when I went into Black River, my heart skipped a beat. I was shell-shocked. I was speechless for a minute. Because when I went there, a whole lot of videos weren't out as yet. But when I saw Black River and I saw the people in Black River, some of them were sitting at a gas station in a group. Others were sitting, all over the place. And I looked at the people, they were traumatized. They were disheartened, desperate. Some were like they were in shock. People walking around with Black River, their belongings, which sometimes is a knapsack. All that they owned was in a knapsack. Some had a feeding bag. For those persons who know the chicken feed bag, those what you call it's not crocus bag. The chicken feed bag. Some had that. Some had one of them local shopping bag where you buy at the supermarket for $100. That was all that they had left after Hurricane Melissa passed through. And I started to walk through Black River. I wasn't able to go everywhere in Black River, in terms of the town of Black River. But I went in and I was... It is hard to describe how the place looks and how the people look. People were walking around in Black River and I can tell they're walking around in dirty clothes. You can actually see mud all over them as if that is the only sort of clothing that they have on their back. But unfortunately, even though we are paying so much attention to Black River, people in Westmoreland suffered just as much or even worse. People in Hanover, people in Trelawney. But I realize that all of us are focusing on Black River and we're not paying attention to the other communities because there are other communities in St. Elizabeth that was just as devastated. A lot of houses without roofs or houses gone altogether. And I mean, Category 5, I remember our Prime Minister came out and said that there is no structure on this earth that can withstand a Category 5 storm. And most of Westmoreland, from I can remember up to now, there are board houses. And tell you some nice board houses are down here. Because I love board houses and I love log houses. So I always love the houses in a lot of the houses in Westmoreland. And the Category 5 came. And I've seen some videos because I wanted to go into Westmoreland, but unfortunately, I didn't have any road to get there. But when you look and you see that just the foundation left there, nothing at all but the foundation. So I know some people in Westmoreland are suffering even more than a lot of people in St. Elizabeth. Because in St. Elizabeth, there are a lot of concrete houses that have lost their roofs, but they still have a dwelling. That they can, I saw some people trying to put on back them roof from now, gathering zinc, some putting on tarpaulin, trying to find somewhere to lay them head comfortable or almost comfortable at night. But in Westmoreland, there is nothing but foundation. Nothing at all but foundation. And it begs me to go to the question that, did our government fail us? And I'm not talking about the JLP, I'm talking about the PNP and the JLP, successive governments over the years. Have they failed us? Now we know that Westmoreland, there are a few concrete houses down there. Because I remember the story yesterday with the young man who lost his pregnant niece, who said that they ran to a 1-bedroom concrete structure and that was where they were able to stay alive during the passage of the storm. And I'm looking around and you know what really upsets me? When I look at Kingston, because government always treat Kingston because it's the capital, as if Kingston is all. And I look around and I see there are some shacks in Kingston, for want of a better word, that the government knocks down over and over and they make up concrete structures, apartment buildings for the people in Kingston. Why is it that none of these concrete structures have never ever been built, and correct me if I'm wrong because I might be young to this, in any of the rural communities? People in Westmoreland and the people in Black River and other places that lost their houses because it was made of board or made of plyboard, lost their houses because it could not withstand a Category 5 storm. And everybody wants somewhere to call them own. It is one of the greatest pleasure when you build something, whether it be a plywood house or a concrete structure, but something where you can pine pan and proudly say that I made this and it is mine. Because Jamaicans were a proud people. I remember I saw a video where this man built this plywood house and him and the lady have an argument and the lady go slam him door and he was most upset. She don't have to slam him door in him house because I fee him house and him making house. You understand me? So, as I said, in Kingston, every chance they get, I remember our PM had broke ground, I think it was in Kingston Central, to put up a nice concrete structure. He put up one in his constituency as well. But why is it that none of these structures have ever been built in rural Jamaica? No, a lot of us don't want anything free, you know. So even though we are contribute, because it's not everybody is able to build a concrete structure. Not everybody income is able to afford that. And now come tell me about when people figure NHD. How much persons contribute to NHD? Because some of them, people who are still on the road, it is not easy. They should, but it is not easy. And sometimes even when they do, they're not able to reap the benefits from NHD. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, government failed us. PMP government and GLP government over the years has failed us. Why is it that none of these concrete structures? Because I look around and concrete structures are standing. People lost their lives because they were living in wooden houses, board houses, plywood houses. So when the wind came and it could not withstand the Category 5 storm. So the wind came and the house went. People had to be hiding. People, they said the storm was so bad that when they came outside, they couldn't even see where they were going to go seek shelter somewhere else. Then can't go, sometimes they can't even seek a good shelter somewhere else because the neighbor also has the same kind of dwelling that they have. But when I went into St. Elizabeth, I saw a whole heap of concrete structures still standing, which means that if they had concrete structures, 32 lives would not have been lost. They might have lost some lives, but I don't 32 lives. Because in Jamaica, when we have natural disasters, we don't normally lose much life. We have never seen a Category 5 storm. But in Jamaica, people are dead at Jamaica, so. Because something about we come like we have 9 life like puss, with skill. You understand me? But when you're in a board structure facing a Category 5 storm, you have nowhere to turn, you have no shelter, you have no safety net. And now come tell me about them, they tell them to evacuate. Because they have been in the board houses for years and have faced Beryl and Gilbert and Dean and all of the other storms before, and nothing like that happened. You understand me? So it is hard to say, listen, they should come out of their house. And even if everybody came out, whoa, we're going to put so much people. We have no farm evacuation center for hold so much people. So I go back to say that the government has failed us. Because if the government had built some of these structures in the rural areas and people are paying a mortgage, we then can afford to pay. And until them finish pay, the house don't belong to them. Yes, I like the fact that our Prime Minister is building the hope houses, right? Nice structures, and I like that. Because I was never a person who would like the food for the poor houses. Those board houses. I've never been a person who liked them. And I was like, yes, I like the whole initiative here that you're trying to give somebody a place to call home, but not board. So I can applaud our Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, to say, yes, I applaud the fact that hope houses are solid structures. But that is not enough. Because a hope house, when a hope house is built, just a one family. There are thousands of families in Black River, thousands of families in other communities in Westmoreland, right across this island. They won't be able to build it for everybody. But it should be something that is done, let us say in the capital of Westmoreland, Savlamard, a whole heap of government land, where them build some apartment complexes and people pay for it over time. So instead of raiding NHT to put the money inside of the budget, NHT was designed to create housing for people. The money should be used to create these structures in the rural areas so that people have somewhere that is comfortable, that can withstand a storm, that they can call home. Because if that had happened, they might have lost a roof. But because our apartment, they can run go downstairs to the neighbor. Only the one them on the top upstairs would have been a problem if it was not decked. Because I looked around and the deck houses are standing. As I said, the concrete structures are standing. If you look at the video, that is playing, showing up Black River, to Black River and inside of Black River. Concrete structures are standing. People lose their roof that some of them are trying to fix. Some of them are using tarpaulin. If it's a 2-floor house, people move from upstairs and go downstairs until them get them life and sort it out, and them mind sort out to see if they can put on back a roof. But If it was Kingston and St. Andrew, lives would have been lost, yes. Because, you know, so downtown Kingston have some real shackety things down there. Some real shacks they downtown. But if the government, is it all of us paying taxes, you know? People in the rural areas paying taxes just like people in the urban area paying taxes. As a matter of fact, rural people might be paying more taxes than people in Kingston. But yet still, Kingston is the jewel. And Kingston people get special treatment. Even the high schools in Kingston, the children have so many opportunities available to them that is not available in the rural areas. Scholarship opportunities. I say people at Kingston play lacrosse. Them people can get scholarship to go foreign for lacrosse. Then can get scholarship for this. And these opportunities are not presented to rural children. So it's the same thing. Kingston is the place where you look like how up the world away for go live. Because when you're in Kingston, you get attention. When you're in Kingston, opportunities are open unto you. Houses are built for you. But people in the rural areas are left to fend for themselves. And it is not just now. Someone will come and say, but look for when PMP didn't appoint, they never do it. And look for, listen, I am tired of that. The black has to stop somewhere. We have to put the blame on somebody. I'm not putting the blame on the JLP government because I said over years, the PMP has done the same thing. The people who vote for them, because remember, you know, no rich person died in this storm. I don't think any middle class person died in this storm. It was all the poor people who died in this storm. The people who vote for them. The people who go up on the bandwagon for them. The people who do everything to make sure that this MP win for him seat. The foot soldiers them who make sure that the MP win their seat. But at the end of the day, when they are supposed to be there for them, they are not there. Right now, we look like them want to politicize this whole thing with this whole storm. So many communities have not received any help at all. So many communities then, so listen, we don't have no water, we don't have no food. Because so I just got internet recently, got back internet, and people are saying we don't have no food, we don't have no that. I went into St. Elizabeth with my local much to see what I could do. And it is at this time that I'm asking my viewers and my subscribers, I would love to go back into St. Elizabeth, into the communities that are being neglected, to assist 50 to 100 residents. And so I'm asking, guys, I've never done this before. For all the time that I've been doing YouTube, I've never done this. I'm asking for your contribution to assist us to go back into St. Elizabeth, into some of those communities that nobody seems to remember. There are some communities that are still cut off. There's no road access. But I'd love to go back into St. Elizabeth. And so I'm going to ask you, please, to reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'm going to put the WhatsApp link in the comment. I'd love to go back into St. Elizabeth. Somebody said in a comment, so you never show your care. If I'm giving somebody something from my pocket, I don't need to make the whole world see it. But if I'm giving somebody something from what people have donated, because I'm a very feisty woman, I'm a very feisty girl, I would video that to say, listen, this is what your money bought, and this is the persons that are being assisted. So I would love, guys, if you could reach out to me, please, may I beg. Me not normally beg. I'm begging, I'm asking, I'm beseeching that some of you could just reach out to me and send me a contribution so that we can go help some people in other parts of St. Elizabeth, Newmarket, Lacovia, Middle Quarters, other areas that are people have not yet gotten any assistance. But I go back again and say the government has failed us. The government has failed us. 32 persons are already dead. And the number is climbing, and it cut me to my core. It hurt me. It hurt me that we have lost so many. Normally at other places, when certain disasters happen in places like Haiti, and so you hear so many persons losing their lives. But 32 of us have already lost our lives, and the number is counting. And I'm like, I am broken, because this should not have happened. This should not have happened. If our government was doing the right housing for our people and looking after us as though they promised to look after us, so many persons would not have lost their lives. So many persons would not have lost their lives. And I don't know about you, but I'm hurting when I look at the people and see the state and the condition that they're in. because they could not afford to build a concrete structure in Black River. They could not afford to build a concrete structure in Westmoreland. They could not have afforded to build a concrete structure in other places that have been devastated, that have been badly hit by Melissa. It hurts. It hurts. Our government, once more, has failed Jamaica. So guys, talk back to me. Tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, because me not feel good. Remember, talk back to me, and I'm begging and asking and beseeching for your contribution so that we can go back into St. Elizabeth, because I don't think I'll be able to make it into Westmoreland. If I can make it into Westmoreland, then we go into Westmoreland or Trelawney or Hanover instead of going into St. Elizabeth, to see how we can make a difference even for a day in somebody's life, to show somebody that, listen, we hear you and we care. We might not be able to build you a house, or might not be able to buy you a comfortable mattress or do certain things, but just to show you that we care, we want to give you this package to show you that somebody knows that you're here. Somebody knows. So we can go in, maybe carry some people who can pray with them, encourage them. So enough love, respect, blessings and favor on each and every one of your lives. It's a girl MJ. Talk back to me.